Good morning, Nasty Rider fans. Eric here. Check it out. Just got the truck back from paint last week. Let me give you guys a little walk around. So in case you didn't know, this is a 1979 Chevrolet C10 long bed model, 350 trans. I'm in the process of restoring it. Just got it back from paint last week. Dennis at Mako, huge shout out, huge thank you. He did an over and above job. Two-tone, white on blue. Blue has a slight metallic. I don't know if you can see that in the light. The white is just kind of a, I wouldn't call it a bright white, but it's an off-white. It's white. So now I have the joyous task of putting this thing all back together. I've got a whole bunch of new parts. I've got a whole bunch of interior parts. I've got a whole bunch of old parts that I need to polish up. You might have noticed my old rubber is a little flat on one corner. Should be fine. No, I'm gonna get new shoes for this sucker. The bed is going to get rhino lined. I didn't ask them to paint the bed. They did do the inside of the tailgate, which is cool. So I don't know if I will rhino line the inside of the gate. I think I will, up to a certain point, maybe this line. Because see, they did the bed rails, and they did the inside bed rails. So I'll probably bring the rhino lining up to the top of the inside, and then match that line right along there. So what's going on inside this thing? Before I brought it to paint, I stripped it. I sanded the whole interior. I painted the interior. I figured that would save me some money. I took my saddle blanket seat cover off, washed it, put it back on. I had the seat out when I did that. I rhino lined the floor. So I've got the door panels in the garage. I've got the stereo has to go back in. The head unit's still here with my makeshift aluminum backing plate. I have a new backing plate that'll match the interior. I've got a newish gauge pack, new headlight knob, a whole bunch of new parts. I believe I do still have to paint the glove box door, and then I'm going to clean up some of the wiring back here, and you know, just make sure this is all tidy and neat, especially down at the fuse box. This insulation I'll probably just glue back into place. It's, I mean, you know, when the insulation's 40 years old, it tends to come off. That's okay. It's all part of the game. The other thing I'm not sure of is I might get new seat belts. These are old, faded, grungy. They just don't look the part, and these plastic pieces are gross. They just look like crap. When I brought it to paint, I stripped it down. I took off all the lenses, the front grille, the front chrome trim, the rear bumper, both bumpers. I took off the weather stripping. I took off everything that I could think of that might get in their way, trying to help them out, or help out the paint shop and save me a little money, hopefully. All said and done, the paint job wasn't too expensive. It was a fair price, especially in today's world with the pricing of labor and labor shortages and materials and supply chain shortages, the way all that's going. Dennis at Mako gave me an awesome price for this, especially for the job he did. It's just fantastic. I mean, I don't know if you can see my reflection right there. There's a slight orange peel to it, but not bad. Better than factory, I would think. And there's certain spots where there is just no orange peel. It's like almost like glass, especially the white. The white, I think, came out a little bit better than the blue as far as orange peel and reflections, but both are better than I asked for initially. You know, I did a whole bunch of body work when I brought this down. There was not major dents all over it, but there was some good dents. He took all the body filler off. He doesn't like body filler, which I don't blame him, but initially I was going for quick and cheap, and that's not what most professional painters are all about. They want, if they're gonna put their name on the paint job, they want it to be done right, which I totally get, and now that it's done right, I'm very appreciative of. So one thing I wanted to check out now that she's back is the dents that they pulled, the bad ones anyway, and just kind of take a look. One of the worst ones was this cab corner. Someone had bashed this in. I knocked out and bent down this corner, and then this whole section was kind of just knocked in like a kind of the size of a baseball. So I filled it. I made it look what I thought was pretty good. Every time you use body filler, you want to knock it down, and then once you think you have the shape you want, you prime it and then sand the primer, and then you can kind of see if there's high or low spots. So I got it perfect in my opinion, but he took that out. You can see this is double wall steel construction, and it looks perfect. I don't know exactly how he got it that nice on the inside with no filler, but he did. The guy, the bodywork guy, is a miracle worker. So the other dent I wanted to look at was the door, because that was pretty bashed. It was right here, right in the center. So, wow. I mean, as you can see, the inside looks perfect. It doesn't look like anything was ever there. This is the door handle doubler. This goes on the inside of the door to reinforce it. Gets bolted in there. It was just on in the bottom of the door on the inside, rattling around. I'm a bonehead, I guess I didn't see it, but I did notice that when you would go to open this door, the thing would, like, you could move it, you could wiggle the sheet metal. Even though it wasn't dented, it was wonky. Coming home with no window insulation or the pocket felt, I'm not sure what you call it, and also without the weather trim, the weather stripping on the inside, these doors just rattle like crazy. Felt like I was going to ruin my paint job, but got home and she's fine. He did put on this double silver stripe, which I requested. I think it, and he agreed, it breaks up the line between the white and the blue really nicely. So yeah, that's how she sits for now. I've got my work cut out for me. It's going to be a fun project though. It's going to be like putting together a plastic model almost, except full size and way nicer and a lot more valuable. So let's get after it.